No, I think we should start, right? Since it's going to be recorded, I think we should start. It's not for everybody. I think uh, those who deem the meeting to be important are here, right? And I mean, we can't wait for everybody. Not everybody is interested. That's the honest truth. It's a self-empowerment I mean stuff. So and it's free. So anybody who was supposed to be here um is supposed to be here. So we are going to start. And we'll try our best to record the meeting as well. And we are also streaming the meeting on YouTube. So if you can meet up, definitely you can watch later. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You hear me very well?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity.
Exactly. Don't worry. Yeah, so we are going to definitely start. Even if I had just two persons here, I was still going to start. So 23 is a very good number. So we are going to start with that. Let me just put a few things here together. Caption. So I'm just going to mute everyone so that we can have a very fruitful meeting. At the end, we are going to have, conversations where you can, ask questions and yeah, we take it from there, okay? So that we don't end up, having a noisy environment. So I'm going to start recording. Then we are going to start. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, King of glory, we give you thanks for this moment. Thank you, Lord, for making it possible again for us to be here. Thank you for this opportunity to share knowledge. You say in your word, oh Lord, that people perish for lack of knowledge, and that because they have rejected knowledge, you too have rejected them. We pray this morning, even as we come together to share knowledge and share our experiences, that you make a way for us, Lord. We thank you, take all the glory in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Okay, so we are going to mute everyone. Okay, so um once again, you're all welcome. It's 23 in attendance. It's great. It's a good success. And yeah, so my name is Prince Lavette. Okay, my name is Elvis. I'm a Cameroonian. Um, I'm based in Canada. Okay, I moved to Canada April 2014 and came here as a student. And yeah, it's been great, to be honest with you. Um, and I did my immigration myself, to be honest with you. Imagine 2014, right? Did everything myself. That was the honest truth because um, I was inquisitive and I also had the internet and I had a laptop. So to me, yeah, I was able to, do it myself. And since then, I have helped others a lot. And of late, I had a lot of burden to kind of want to, train those who want to travel to be able to do it themselves because it's very possible you can do it yourself. Okay. And if you look at the stories on, oh, I paid this person $10,000 and nothing came out of it. Like sometimes I just laugh and I'm like, you know, yeah. So this is a very hands-on, you know, program that we have brought it up. Initially, we had wanted to charge the program about $800, but we said no, let's do it for free because this kind of a knowledge should be, given out for free. And so I just want to make a disclaimer that I am not an immigration consultant. And the knowledge that I'm going to give you here, a knowledge that from my experience and also from my research, okay, and also based on other people's experiences, okay. But these are information that have helped a lot of people, and so it is my desire and my prayer that at the end of the day, the knowledge you get here is also going to empower you to help others and to be able to advise others. Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. So my approach today is going to be a hands-on experience. I want to show you, the very first a few things that you need to do when it comes to thinking about immigration to Canada, like being able, to create your immigration portal and then, explore the various programs in your portal and also look at the eligibility requirements and the checklist. If you are able to do all of this by yourself, you'll find yourself navigating travel with no issues and without having to depend 100% on agents, right? Like that. Now said, now I'm not saying that it is 100% wrong to use agent services. No, right? It's not wrong, but you shouldn't rely on them 100%. Okay, like you should be able to know the actual cost of a program, know the like be able to know the actual requirements from the direct source of that program, even if somebody is going to assist you. You know, like for example, if I want to travel, if I want to travel to America, right now, and I can choose to book my flight myself, or I can call, a ticketing agent, right? To buy me ticket, but at least I have an idea, okay, on how to do it myself and like that. But maybe just calling the agent is going to give me a discount. That's why I should be calling an agent, right? Because sometimes they have this partnership with airlines, right? That gives them some discounts. Okay. So they see what we don't see online. In that case, using an agent is justified, but at least I know where I'm going to. I have an idea, okay, on what I'm expecting. That is the purpose of it. So that if in the future you need to get somebody to assist you, right, you should be able to ask the right questions. And the reason why I'm going to do this for is because 9 out of 10 persons who contact me say, "Hey, I want to travel to Canada." The first question they ask is, "How long would it take?" When you tell them, "Okay, it depends on the program you want to engage in. However, it may take you up to 4 months or 6 months, okay, or even up to 18 months, depending on the program." Like they just become mute and you never hear from them again. Then the next time you hear from them is, "Oh, I met this guy online who promised that he was going to do this stuff for me in 6 weeks. Now it's been 9 months and nothing is coming out." Okay, but I told you, right? So being able to ask the right questions, access your file, all of that is so important. That's the purpose of this program. And so let's get started. Yeah, so please, if you have a question, just put it in the chat, okay? And I am going to respond to it as we are progressing. Okay. And at the end, we are going to have, a question and answer session. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen. I did prepare the slide just to guide us as we go through this. Okay, that's my screen there. Okay, great. So let's get this going. Okay. Okay, so let's look at what is it that we want to be able to slideshow from beginning. Perfect. Okay. So of course, our goal today, hide meeting information, show meeting information. Okay, good. Yeah. So please let me know if you can see my screen. I can see the screen very clearly, right? So of course, we're talking about mastering Canadian immigration programs and being able to detect when something looks like a scam, and of course how to prepare yourself for in fact how to do it yourself. Of course, this is your guide to a safe and successful application you're looking at. Okay. So we'll be looking at why you should why you should choose Canada as a destination, the various immigration programs. We talk about express entry especially, and then provisional nominee program, study and work permit, family sponsorship, how to avoid immigration scams, how to generate your own checklist. This is very, very important because see, the checklist for Steve. Okay, let's say for example, right, me and Steve, we want to come visit Canada, for example, right now. Steve has a different profile. I have a different profile. Okay. So his requirements in most cases will never be the same and exactly like mine. Why? So let's say, for example, Steve is a businessman and Steve has a business. So in the course of generating his checklist, he's asked, "Hey, do you have a business in your country of residence?" He says, "Yes." Therefore, in the list of documents required, he is going to be asked to provide, proof of business existence, right? But now, let's say we have Uche. They ask Uche, "Okay, Uche, do you have a business in your country of residence?" Uche says no. So that requirement for Steve is not going to be applicable to Uche. You get what I'm saying? So being able to generate your own checklist is one of the things. In fact, that is where to start. If you're thinking about anything, let's say, for example, you want to travel to Canada as a worker, don't be scared. Like, go to the website. I'm going to show you how to create your IRCC account and do some kind of simulations. And these are stuff that you can do them from your phone as well. Like, you don't necessarily need to have a laptop, but if you have a laptop, is highly recommended that you do these things on your laptop. Believe me, think about how much you're going to pay to an agent. Okay. And the advantages of you maybe having your own laptop and being able to do all of these things by yourself. So if you are really in for, for a long term kind of a thing, and you really want to save money, you really want to learn how to do this thing yourself, and also be able to, advise others around you, how to go about all of these things is going to help you in the long run, right? Of course, common scams and red flags, how to create your immigration portal account, okay, resources and next steps, and of course, what we look at, some Q&As here. We're going to answer some questions, okay? Of course. The honest truth is that when you think of Canada, Canada is one of those places where if you are a family man, especially, right? If you're thinking about immigration, think about Canada, because Canada has, high quality of life, especially with regards to supporting families, right? Yeah. I mean, like, me and you can be in Canada and you have a family. I don't have a family. The person who has a family is going to have more, services from the government more than, a single person. So if you have a family, right, and you're thinking of traveling, don't go with the narrative of, it's okay, all right, just go alone and then, you're going to find a way to bring her later. No. If you can be patient, do your research, right, and if you are eligible for certain programs that, will open the door for you and your entire family to travel, do it. And most of those programs are not even expensive. Right now, how do you know that on the government website in Canada, the highest application fee you ever pay for any program, and I think this is for citizenship, okay, is $650. That is for citizenship. For permanent residence, it's around $550, okay, for adult applicants, and $150 for children. Okay, so you see how easy that is, right? And then all the other requirements, like maybe paying some kind of fees to different agencies, like let's say, for example, you have to go and write your English exams or your French exams, right? Of course, what you're going to pay those fees for those exams. Maybe you want to pay for the training of those exams. Maybe what you want to do education credentials, right? Like, you want to evaluate your education, because it is very important. If you have a master's degree and you are in Africa, before you even think of travel, try what? Try to know the exact equivalent of your master's degree within the Canadian immigration system. And it's very easy to do these things, right? And it's easier for you to do it when you are back in your home country than when you are in Canada. You get it? Because in your home country, you can what? You can take the request letter directly to the ministry. Okay, maybe in your region or in the capital city, and get them to send those documents directly to the agency. But if you are already in Canada and you want to do that, you have to send somebody. Like, there is these delays and all of that, because when you are handling things yourself, the energy you put in it is not the same as when you assign someone to do it for you, right? So of course, what high quality of life, that's the honest truth. Canada is a place for you and all of that. So of course, we'll talk about free healthcare education. Of course, what these are PR benefits. That's why if you have a bachelor's degree, okay, you have a bachelor's degree and you have at least 2 years working experience. If you ask my personal opinion, I'll tell you, know what? And and also you are married, okay? If you're married and you have kids, you have at least a bachelor's degree. If you were to ask me about immigration or what, I'm going to think about a family package. You get what I'm saying? Because one is going to save you a lot of stress in the long run. It's easier when you are two in this part of the world than when you are one. It's even worse when you are alone here and you have family back home. You understand? Because I mean, until they come to be with you, you won't have a stable mind. And so that is in itself is going to affect a lot of things about how you live. Canada is known for, when it comes to a multicultural society, like if you have friends in Canada, ask them, like, I mean, people have the right that are protected by law to, practice their religion, practice their culture. It's a place to be. It also has a very strong job market. Okay, like very strong job market. That's why it's also good to understand and to find out, like uh, when you are planning on traveling, it's good to have an idea on the job market, right? Because see, if you are a nurse in Nigeria, let me be very honest, or you're a nurse in Cameroon, right? And you travel to Canada, you may not get into you in fact you will not get into the nursing field immediately. That's the honest truth. Okay, but they are going to accept you to come. Okay, so when you come here, you have to go through their own, what they call their own accreditation programs, right? Like to get your license, it takes you some time, right? If you are a plumber, of course, you can what? It's the same thing. That's what you have to understand how plumbing is done in Canada, right? Especially in the city and the state where you are located. It's not the same thing, but the experience is the same. So it's going to be very easy for you to maybe like take like a 2 months, freshman's course, okay, and what? And write your certification exams, ensure yourself, ensure your work, and like you are good to go. So there are a lot of regulations depending on the career pathway, right, that you want to follow. Okay. Then of course, when it comes to immigration programs, as we're going to explore them, right, and of course you are going to explore these programs, when your IRCC portal. That's the first thing that you should be. In fact, at the end of this session, if you are able to create your portal, you are going to find out that it is so easy to navigate this program. As a matter of fact, on the government of Canada, they don't even recommend you to use a representative. It is not, I mean, like to use an agent, and even to use what they call here, like an authorized immigration consultant. It doesn't change anything. The system is built in a way that anybody who has a little bit of technical skills, right? Not even technical skills, like computer skills only. You get it? You can what? You can navigate the system without any issues, right? So when it comes to programs, we have Express Entry Program, and this covers what they call the Federal Skills Workers Program. Okay, the FST, the Federal Skills Trade Programs, and the Canada Experience Program, right? So all of this is one of the easiest way to travel to Canada at the moment, um, as a permanent residence. This I strongly recommend, especially if you are eligible. Okay, because one is not expensive. Two, it takes time, but three, you travel as a landed immigrant, which means that you are coming in, you're going to spend like 2 months, you're going to have access to healthcare, access to free education. As a matter of fact, it has a lot of benefits, right? And the way they treat permanent residents here is not the same way they treat, temporary residents, right? That's the honest truth. You get what I'm saying? uh, PNP, talking about provincial nominee specific stream. So PNP, okay, is used to balance immigration. You get it? Like, for example, now if you look at it carefully, even on the news, you discover that most people who are traveling to Canada wants to come to Ontario Okay, and those who are coming from the French-speaking part of Africa or French-speaking nation of the world, they only want to go to Quebec. So the provision of many program is a program that is used to to balance immigration. So you're going to hear like Alberta is going to, or what the government is going to approve a program for Alberta that allows the Albertan government to select skilled workers to come to Alberta. You have the northern territories of Canada. The fact is that Canada still has Canada has a population of 41 million. You get it, but it is one of the largest country in terms of landmass. As a matter of fact, the this country hasn't even gone like up to 1/10, of meeting its full capacity. So they will forever need immigrants. That's the honest truth. You understand what I'm saying? So it's good for you to understand that and all of that. So you see that now we also have study permits that upon graduation you can have what they call the postgraduate work permit, and then that can lead to a PR. Now, if you are thinking of coming to study in Canada, this is one that is very important. Some of I came as a student. My experience is that it's expensive. Okay. And see, if I was to advise somebody, okay, I would say, you know what? Have your master's degree from your home country and then do the equivalent and travel as a permanent resident. That would be the best advice. Or even do your PhD. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're studying in Nigeria, for example, right, you can focus on your study, you have all the support there, and it's not expensive. Get done with it, and then what? If you do the equivalent of a master's program, you know, um, to the Canadian immigration system, it's going to, education system is going to be probably like maybe a bachelor's degree, because a bachelor's here is 4 years old, a bachelor's plus one. You get what I'm saying? That alone is already good points when it comes to express entry, right? The same thing if you have a PhD, because your PhD in Nigeria or back home is going to be relatively cheaper and even has like higher quality, because what you are back home and you have all the support. You're not paying housing. Even if you are paying housing, it's not as expensive as you have to pay in Canada. Therefore, what? While you are doing that, you can launch your program. So what is progressing, surely and steadily. Okay. So study programs in Canada as an international student is very expensive, right? Now, let me just give you a news flash. When I came in 2014, I had to study. In fact, I was studying business administration. And in my class, right, most of us international students, for one semester, which is 4 months, okay, that's 4 months, one semester, you are paying about $7,500 for one semester. Now, if you convert that to the Cameroon currency, it's about 4 million francs, right? For 4 months, oh. And then a permanent resident is paying about $2,000. And the $2,000 is not coming from their pocket. They have what, for example, in Ontario, they have what is called OSAP, right? Is a government program that supports in fact, that supports education. So if you're a permanent resident, you can apply for OSAP. The government gives you loan and grants. The loan part of the entire education support program is what you're going to pay back to the government upon graduation, right? The grant part is what is like a support to you. You get it? So now you're sitting in crowds of people that have extreme support. They have less things to worry about. Like there's nothing to worry about actually. Just what? Focus on your studies and get done. But you have to what? You have to now look for like two jobs. Because of course, our parents now, when they send you abroad, you are already abroad, you have to survive. The good thing is that what those who come from Africa, we also have the resilient. You get it, like we we are, how would I say, like we are resilient. That's the honest truth. So not to justify, the pains that we go through, but the depression that we go through from Africa has kind of, built us. It has kind of, built and like a resilient immune system in us that we can survive just anywhere under any kind of condition, right? Because you're going to find like your fellow, students, like they're doing two jobs. So you get done with school around 2:15 and you have to start a shift somewhere at 3 p.m. You're working from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's 8 hours. And then what? Before you get home, because in most cases you're not driving, at 11 p.m. you have to go wait for a bus and then you have to go wait for a train. And then what? Maybe you get home around, 1 a.m. You have like, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep. You have to what? Get up in the morning again, go to school, then go to work. Like that is a life of a normal student here, except that you have, like big support coming from back home, or you have maybe like you have some kind of relatives here that are already working that are supporting you then, of course, but the majority of those who are coming to study don't have that support, right? So if you are going to think about study, unless you have your resources, this is not really a program I'm going to recommend you to come for. I would recommend you to come for work program or permanent residence program because what you are coming to contribute to the economy and also empower yourself. And there are a lot of programs that the government itself is launching towards that. So study permit, of course, to me, study back home because it's going to save you money. Save your money what? Coming for express entry or your provincial nominee. This is just the best advice anybody can give you, right? To me, I don't think is when I look at how much I spent for my education here, if I've done this, if I've done the program in Cameroon, I would have saved much money. And then what? Just travel as travel what? Travel as a worker, right? And all of that, yeah. Then of course, so you also have the family sponsorship program, like so if you have a family here who is but this program is only for permanent residents and citizens. So they can sponsor their relatives and parents to come over and all of that. And of course, we also have the Atlantic Immigration Program. We have the Quebec programs. There's a lot of programs that you can go in for. Okay. So we talk about express entry, right? Is what. So this is a point-based system, okay? And the point is based on a couple of categories, right? So you have education, okay? Um, family status, right? You have your current experience outside of Canada, and you have financial resources and language requirements and adaptability in Canada. Now, when it comes to adaptability, if you have a friend here who's a citizen or a family as a citizen, right, you are more likely to adapt easily than somebody who doesn't have, such. But the point there is not really like doesn't really come that much. But language. So let's say what you write your IELTS exam, right? You're going for your IELTS and you have a very good score. You get it like let's say you score like 7.5 in writing, in listening, in speaking, and what and in reading. Okay. Now, if you score 7.5, and what, and your spouse also what scores the same. Okay, like 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. That the kind of scores you get for that is already going to elevate you, okay, in the ranking. That's the advantage with doing this with your spouse. Okay, that's one. The second thing is what. So once you score, because the biggest barrier is that language test, right? If you have a very good score and you also have a very good job back home, believe me, it's easy. And you can do all of this by yourself. The only thing with this is that of course it takes time, but it's preferable to take time, save money and prepare for life in Canada than to rush, make mistakes, be scammed, lost money, lost time, and in some cases, you what You may even lose your opportunity to ever travel to Canada because, like, if you fall in the hands of agents who use fake documents on your behalf, right? And if the immigration finds that out, you can be banned. You get it. So this is why it is so important for you to master how to do it yourself. So of course, when it comes to the programs that qualify for express entry, you have the FSW program, the CSC program, the Canada Experience, okay, class, and of course you also have the FST program. Okay, we're going to see all of that. Then you have so of course these draws happen every 2 weeks, but because of the current climate, the political climate right now in Canada is one that they are trying to, they're trying to improve the immigration system, but it's going to get better. That's the honest truth, right? Right. So of course, we look at the tips. So the only things that can really boost your eligibility for this program is language test. This is the biggest barrier. Okay, and if you can write two different tests, so let's say you can write the English and the French on, it's even better. But if you take just the English one and you score very high in those exams, it's good. And then what? The second thing is that you should be able to already get the equivalence of your education's like your education credentials. So if you have a master's degree, you want to proactively, okay, get the equivalent to the Canadian, system, okay? So now let me just make this again, like very clear, okay? Uh, you need to also understand that nobody can guarantee you visa, okay? Canada, no. So if you see anything anywhere that say, oh, like what, this 100% guaranteed visa program is a scam. Have you ever seen a lawyer who says, oh, that like this case is a 100% case, we are going to win the case? Lawyers, by their training award, are not even allowed to guarantee you that. No, so you know what? We have strong evidence, and we are going to present this evidence in court, and we have a chance, right? That's what they always say. We have a chance. No lawyer in his or her right sense can tell that, oh, you know what? Don't worry, this case, our case, unless they have the judge in their hands. All right, maybe okay, so let's say the judge is my friend. I can go to his house on the weekend and just give him like maybe 25,000 US dollars. You know what? You know what to do. Give me judgment, right? But in the case of immigration, it's not like that, right? So no program is 100% guaranteed program, and that's the reason why you don't want to. That's the reason why you don't want to, you know, like trust your future in the hands, of agents, right? You want to be able to be active in that process, okay, and if possible, do it yourself. Of course, what now? Never pay for employment. Okay, let's say for example, oh, like there's a job opportunity that no, don't do it. The reason why you won't do it is because in Canada it's a fraud for any employer, like a legitimate employer, to charge foreign workers or to sell job offers. No, it's a criminal offense, 1 year imprisonment, right? However, you can what? Let's say, but what you can pay a friend to help you search for jobs for you and apply for those jobs for you, right? You can pay an agency back home to help you search those jobs. That's a different thing. But the job offer itself should not cost you anything, right? But the process to get the job, of course, can cost you because, okay, let's say, there's a young person in Cameroon or in Nigeria who knows how to search the internet, who knows how to apply for jobs, who knows how to, customize your resumes and submit application on your behalf because you are busy. That for sure, the person can charge for the services, right? But the job offer in itself, right? When an employer wants to hire you, it's in their best interest to what? To make sure that they're hiring the best. And so if you come out to be the best on their skill, they should just hire you. You don't have to pay for anything, right? You don't have to pay for anything, right? But what you can pay for the services that leads to it, and that cannot come from the company, but it can what? It can come from some kind of a consulting company, right? Maybe a recruitment agency. Of course, they're a business and what they can charge for their services. But in terms of the job, the employment offer itself, companies don't charge their employees to work for them. It doesn't work like that, right? No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, there are some companies that are even going to pay, for what they call relocation fees. Like I mean, like if you have a job like coming to work in a farm, right? Yeah, some companies are going to pay a flight, even pay accommodation, okay, for you to come because you're coming to work, right? But in most cases, you may not really come, you may not find those ones directly. So if you have to go through, third parties and all of that, those third parties what they can charge a fees. But these are also things that you can, for sure do it yourself. Now, it's always also good to consult the government website on the program. You see, the Western world is a highly digitalized, part of the world where everything is online. Okay, everything is online. There's nothing like, hey, it's okay, no, like this program, no, no, everything. If the government launches a program, it's going to be online, it's going to be announced, it's going to be in the news, right? It's always online. So that one always, so of course, what? Never pay for anything like guaranteed visa. As a matter of fact, let me tell you a very simple story about this. I think in 2013 or something like that. Yeah. No, in Cameroon. No, I think, yeah, 2013, I remember. So I and my friend, we fell into this kind of a scam where we had, somebody to come and tell us that, hey, like there is this visa program for Canada is 100%, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. So we get passports. And of course, we also get passport with money, right? So it was like, oh, I mean, don't worry, what we are going to travel through Nigeria, right? And the the guy then linked us somebody from Nigeria who came to Cameroon, took the passport, took the money, hmm, went and they went and how many of you have had experience with this what they call uh oh shoot, yeah, sticker visas, right? That's what they call like sticker visas, right? Where they stick fake visas in your passport and then they send to you by email and they send the passport to you back, right? That is fake. Like they have a way that they do it. So we send those stuff and then we took it to the airport to go and verify. That they almost locked all of us up at the airport. Okay? Like, so what now? Let me tell you the two things that triggered that. One, time. Okay? It's available in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to travel in 2 weeks, right? Everybody, of course, wants to travel in 2 weeks, even the next day. But the fact is that it is not like that. Okay. And so, because, oh, no, it's okay, don't worry, we have the network. No, there's nothing like we have the network. Just what? You just need to go to the government website and, do the findings yourself. As a matter of fact, last week, let me even tell you, like, and I'll share the link in the group, right? Last week, I saw a similar thing again on Facebook, and the program is called Canada Construction Immigration Program. So, and I was like, I haven't heard about this program. And then if you look at the comments, oh, I'm interested, I'm interested, I'm interested. And I'm like, okay. So I wrote the guys, and I'm like, please, can I have the link to this program, like to the government official program? The guy became angry. So he sent me the link of the announcement. Then I'm like, bro, this is an announcement. It is not the program itself. Like, because what a program is going to tell you about the eligibility requirements. Okay, it tell you about when the program is open. Okay, who is eligible? You know how to apply and all of that. Like, but this one it was just an announcement. That announcement was made sometime 5 months ago, and this guy is now what is now advertising it now. So when I got in town, okay, so where's the office in Canada? He said in Toronto. I said, okay, yeah, good, okay, good. I want to send my brother to come to Toronto. And then the guy just blocked me. You get it? So this is how you are. This is how you can easily, identify if something is not real. Just what try to say, you know what, don't worry, I want to send to come and see you in person. If it is real, they will accept. If it is a fake, they will say no, don't worry. Okay. Like that. Okay. So you have that one, okay? So what you want to, in fact, you want to educate yourself. It's very, very important that you do that. So this is another one, okay, that I'm going to talk about again. Now, language test. Okay, like we spoke about, this is your very first thing that like you can do all of this without being under any kind of pressure. Okay, let's say you are thinking of traveling the next 2 years. Do it now. And what? And start the process. Don't wait until you have paid somebody money and then this becomes a requirement. And then what? You have to put yourself under a lot of pressure. No. Traveling should not pressure you. You should what? You should plan your traveling with a very stable psychology and everything is going to look. And you know who is doing this stuff? Let me just see if I can. Hosting tools. Annotates. No. Please, let's respect ourselves. Stop this. I don't know who is doing that. I don't know why you're doing that, but that's not respect. Hmm? If I remove you from the meeting now, they will say that it is your village people, not knowing that is your action. Okay. So checklist, right? For all the programs that you ever want to, you know, to study in Canada, right? Of course, you must what? You have to check for what? For your education credential assessment, right? This is done by agencies like WES, okay? Proof of form. Now, I'll tell you a very simple way of what? Of going about proof of form, okay? Let me tell you. Okay, like, how many of you here don't have a bank account? How many? Like, if you don't have a bank account with a commercial bank or with a big bank in your account, just type one. Let's see. Okay, you don't have faith. Like, if you don't have a bank account in your account, you just type one. Okay. So see, now, okay, when it comes to proof of fund, right, it's also what we call bank statement. Okay. What the government is looking for here is looking at, so they want to see a history of you making money. That's the first thing. Okay. So bank statement or POF is not like, okay, you just go now, get somebody to sell you 50 million naira, right? Just dump your account, bam. In most cases, those fail because now, the embassies verify all of this now, right? So I advise everybody that one, if you are gainfully employed, be it by employer, by regular employment, or self-employment, okay, try what? Try to have a bank account, okay, the bank account, and make sure that your employer is paying you on a monthly basis through what? Through your bank account, okay, through your bank account. Why is this so? This is so because let's say what you want to print your bank statement. Let's say you had an account in 2019 And every month you have your employer pay you 50,000 naira. Okay. Now you want to print your bank statement, you go ahead and you can print bank statement for the last 3 years. That shows more credibility than what somebody who just opened an account 6 months ago, and all of a sudden you have like 50 million in that account. Now, the person who was making 50,000 naira a month for the last 3 years and have a very clear record of that, and the person who suddenly have 50 million in 6 months, who do you think is more credible? Trust me, is the guy who has been receiving who has been receiving 50,000, okay, naira every month. The embassy is going to trust such a person than the 6 months record. That's the first thing I want you to understand. Secondly, when it comes to proof of fund, right, it's not just about the money in your account. Okay, it includes what? It includes probably your investments, okay, your savings. Maybe you have shares in some companies, right? Those are what? Those are all proof assets that you have. Maybe you have landed property, right? You have stuff that if something was to happen, you can easily put them as collateral to access funds, right? But liquid cash also is so important. And so for any program that you want to enroll, you want to know exactly what is the acceptable perform. Because let me say, okay, let's say okay, if you're coming to visit Canada, for example, right, the proof of fund, right, the bank statement is not going to be as the bank statement of somebody who is just coming to study. That's the first thing. If you're coming to visit me, or you're coming for like 2 months visit, okay, having like $10,000 in your account is very okay. Like that, it's very good. Okay, that's after you've paid your flight. $10,000 is just okay. And that is even more realistic. I've seen people that have gone to Rainbow with just $2,000, like $2,000. But they have proof to show that hey, you know what? Come on, I don't have money because I have responsibilities. But this is what I have, and I'm going to spend this. When it's done, it's done. Okay, if I need more money, I'll get more money. But for now, this is what I have in my account. But what they can go through their bank history. Oh, this person always have money. But okay, I don't have money now, but by month end, I'm going to be paid. I'm going to have money, right? Like that. So that goes a very, very long way when it comes to that. Right? So of course, you want to do that. Now, the next thing again is what you're having a job offer here. Again, of course, we're 80% of the program because if you are coming to study, you don't need to have a job offer. As a matter of fact, we're going to look at how to generate your checklist, okay, as we progress. Okay, talking about common immigration scams. You have what? You have okay. So of course what you have, fake job offer, pay to secure a job. That definitely what is a scam. The pressure to act quickly. Okay. Just know that that's a scam because um you know immigration is a is an informative process, right? So there is no point, there's no reason whatsoever to be under any kind of pressure, to do that. And of course, when you pay money and you are given no official receipt, is also what an indication that probably you are being scammed. Upfront cash demands. Okay. If it is not justified, don't engage in it. Okay. It is not worth it. Not slice text are not. Oh yeah. Oh, let me see. Okay, don't worry. Okay, but just pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay, so I'll read. I'll talk about it. Okay. So what? No official receipt is what you see here, right? So no official receipt is an example of that. Upfront cash demands, never. Like somebody's asking you $2,500. It is not reasonable. Okay, like there is that's just a clear example of what you are getting into, a scam kind of scheme. Guaranteed PR schemes is what is a red flag. Don't go for that. Okay. You also have people who claim to be consultants, right? You also what please, and they don't have some kind of an ICC number. Don't do that. So fake job offers, anybody who asks to pay to have a job offer, no. Okay. But somebody can ask you to pay them for their services to secure you a job, not the job offer. Because companies don't ask monies, don't ask for payments to issue employment. But let's say what you have a friend here in Canada who is going to maybe like put in some time, you know what I mean, to apply for jobs. But of course, what they can charge you for their time and for their services and not the job offer. So these are two different things, okay, that you should be looking out for. Okay. So if somebody is asking you for money for their service, that is justifiable. Okay. But say, hey, is money for the job offer? No. You really want to run from that because no company in Canada is going to charge a potential employee. That is a big scam. And it's immigration fraud and it's also a criminal offense. So don't go for that. Okay. Now, of course, what? Let's talk about okay. So of course, can go to, we're going to look at how to go to the IRCC portal, launch your account and all of that. Let me just fast track. We'll come back to that. Now, of course, when it comes to work permits, we'll talk about this probably more next week. So we have two types of work permits. We have what they call the the L the LMIA is called Labor Market Impact Assessment Base versus the LMIA exempt. Now, there are some jobs in Canada that the employer can issue you a job offer directly without having to to go through the skills, but to go through an agency here that is responsible for making sure that you have first of all looked at what is available in Canada before we're thinking of hiring abroad, right? So LMIA, of course, what you have to show proof and apply to the government to to approve your request to hire. In that case, what they're going to give you, a labor market impact assessment. And this assessment is going to state that, oh, you know what? Yeah, okay, this guy wants to hire, a Yoruba tech support, right? Somebody who has a tech skill, but what is Yoruba based? Okay, and of course, in the job market, there is nobody in maybe like in the city where the guy is that speaks Yoruba, right, and also have the tech skills. So what? Maybe it's a company that wants to launch a program that is going to benefit the Yoruba community in that particular area. You get what I'm saying? So what? That means that now when the governor issue what they call the LMIA, it means that First of all, you have advertised the job on the various government websites, and everybody who have applied have not met your eligibility. Get what I'm saying? So you've gone through all that lengthy process. In some cases, they will say, no, keep looking, right? So that's the first approach where you have the LMIA base, where you have to prove to the government that, I have tried to recruit within the workforce here in Canada, and I have not found anybody. Okay, that's one. Then what? You also have what they call the LMIA exempt. Right now, this is one that an employer can hire you, okay, without having to go through the government to get their approvals, right? So they can hire you based on, let's say, based on what culture, based on religion. So let's say, well, okay, I'm a church, okay, and I need, a pastor, a black pastor, for example. Or I need there are some category of skills that doesn't necessarily need to go through that. So skills that are skills. Okay, it could be something as is I want what? Okay, I want to hire a caregiver, but what? This caregiver must speak French. You get it? Or what? This caregiver must what? Must speak Igbo. Okay, that's different. So that falls under what? That falls under the LMIA exempt. You get it? Because what I'm bringing somebody to take care of my kids, about what? I also want the person to be able to speak Yoruba or to speak Igbo. Is it Igbo? Yeah. So even an individual, okay, a Canadian permanent resident or citizen can what? Can issue you a job offer on that. Okay. They don't need to go through the government, but the government is going to approve that. So you can apply for your work permit. Get what I'm saying, right? So at the end of the day, now you can what? You can get somebody here to kind of, look for those who are employing in this category to help you. So what? They can charge for their services, but the employer has to pay all the compliance fees for this. You get what I'm saying? So somebody can charge you for their service, okay, in helping you to do that, but not for the actual outcome, that process, okay? So we also have, tech workers, okay? So tech workers also fall under this particular category, all right? And of course, you have like what they call the global talent stream also. That falls under that, okay? So for family sponsorship, you have, so of course, who can sponsor in Canada? You have, citizens and PR holders, and all of these what have these income requirements. And then what you have sometimes it takes up to 12 months. But of course, what you are coming as a permanent resident. Okay, so thank you so much. Come to the end of my presentation. I think so this is the very first part. The next part is going to be practicals. Okay, hold on one second. Looks like you jump. Oh no, we already spoke about that extensively. Okay, so now I'm going to stop this recording. And then what? We are going to. Okay, perfect. Uh, does anyone have a question so far? Anyone? Okay, let's see what. Okay, so I'm going to unmute everyone. So let's have a 10 minutes, question and answer session before what move to part two. So part two is the practicals, like how to create the government accounts and start looking at the requirements. In fact, we'll see that it's going to be so interesting. Okay, let's say, okay, go ahead, please. Who is that? Yeah, Kabi, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, my question is around that of
Sorry, I can't hear you. I think I missed that.
permit. So, is it complete? Hello?
I'm
I
hearing
will
you.
text it. I will send it. Maybe I should send it if you can't hear me.
Yeah. Just what? Just text it, okay? Just text it in the chat section.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Pick it.
Yeah. Good day, sir.
Go ahead.
So, my question is, like network and other things. I'm not really getting everything you are saying. My question is, how are we going to get the recorded version of this, and maybe in the process of going through the recorded version, if we have any question, hope we can still get back or ask the question in the platform.
Yes, of course. It's very okay for that. And so we I'll live stream this on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to share the link to the video, so you can easily watch it again on our YouTube channel.
All right.
That won't be a problem.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's look at part 2. Okay, so let's look at part 2. And so in this part, we'll look at how to get started. Okay. Okay, so now for every immigration program to any country, right? The first thing is to go to the government website and then you create an account. When you create the account and log in the account, you're going to see all the programs that you can apply for, and you can individually generate the checklist for those programs. So let me just go through, okay, one. So now, the first thing I'm going to recommend, okay, is that if you're going to do immigration, first one, create a new email address. Okay, I'm sure that all of you here know how to create emails, right? All of you here have emails, isn't it? Is there anyone here who doesn't have an email account? Anyone? Okay, I'm sure everybody does, right? So what? That's the first thing. So what? Make sure you have create a new email account. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what to do with that email account. Okay, so do everything with that. So let's get started now. So first, share my screen. So I'm going to use just let me know if you can see my screen very clearly. Okay. Okay, and then of course we have the chat section. Yeah, okay. Is it compulsory to do second program, especially for someone to apply for PR? No. Of course, what it's not compulsory. See, it also depends on what it depends also on your financial abilities. I mean, like if you have your money, because don't forget that the program you are doing it's not free. Okay, and while you're also doing it as an international student. Get what I'm saying? So it depends. If you maybe, I mean, if your parents have the money, you have the money to do a program, you can do anything you want to do in Canada as long as you can afford it. You get what I'm saying? So of course that. Can I do my first degree in Canada? So of course the answer is it depends on your abilities. It's very possible you can do your first degree in Canada, but it was what you have to be aware of the realities. So for example, how much is it going to cost me? That's the first thing, right? How long is the program? Do I have the monies for that? Do I have the support for that, right? So if you can answer all of those questions, the answer is yes. How do I identify fake website? Okay, I'll show you, okay? There is only one Canada government website, okay? That's it, and I'll show you the website, okay? Any other thing is not it, okay? Let me see, somebody said, okay, let me see that. Is there age limit to study? No, what? There is no age limit to study in Canada, okay? There's no age limit, no. Because if they impose an age limit, it's going to be, it's going to become a human right issue. However, right, schools can decide to, they can have their own admission requirements, right? Yeah. But there is no legal age limit to study in Canada, okay? Okay. So, like I mentioned, okay, if you want to create your IRCC portal, first what you need to have, you need to have first create a new email account so that you can use it for your immigration purposes. So first what? You go to the government website. So you go to the internet, right? Just what? Just type Government of Canada. See this here? Government of Canada. Okay, like this. All right. To make it easy, even you can just what? You can type Immigration Canada. Immigration. Okay. So this is the official government website or the Canada immigration programs. Okay. So immigration. Yeah, this one, right? See this here? So there you go, right? So what? So this is the official government Canada's program. Okay, website. I'm just see this here. So what? This is where you're going to find all the information, everything. Okay, if you want to check, how long it will take, for an application, you can use this tool. You want to check your application status. You want to, in fact, everything. You want to visit, you want to work, you want to immigrate, study, citizenship, permanent residence card, and of course, what? Settling in Canada. This is your one-stop shop. So this is the site. Copy and let's put it in the chat section here in the WhatsApp group. We're going to what? Put it right there. Okay? Like this. So it's there now. Okay. So, okay. So of course, what we are looking at how to create our IRCC account. This is the first thing you want to do if you really want to do it by yourself. So let's say once we click here. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm also going to paste it right there. See that? So we have so many accounts, but what? Let's see, want to what? Just click here on what? Don't have an account. Then what? Just come back here. Okay. Let's say what? Want to go what? Okay, like this one, right? And let's go into what? Into this. Not this one. Let's just back here. Okay. And let's come back here, okay? Sign to what? To this account. And what? We're going to what? Sign to this account. Choose a program. Okay. Like that. So now what? Now we are going to what? We are going to register for an account. Copy this link. And of course what? I'm just going to paste it right there. Okay. Like that. So once you click on this link, see this here? So now what? Create what? Register with a Government of Canada username and what? And password. Look for this. Now, see this here? So because you don't have an account, you're going to what? You're going to sign up. Okay? You sign up for an account. So you click here. Okay? You click right there. Of course, you have these terms and you can what read the terms and conditions. And of course, you're going to accept the terms like this. Now, so what I do, because this is sensitive, I'm going to show you one more thing, okay? Now, you are already in the new email account that you created, right? What do you do now? Go back there. Let's open up a Word document. Now, this is going to help you a lot. Why? Because of course, what? You don't want to keep information in your head or write them down somewhere in some book, right? It's safer to keep it in your email account. So therefore, I'll go to blank document. I'll do a table here. The purpose is to save my credentials, right? In an environment where I can always go back there and access them. Because If I write it down, on a paper can get missing. If I put it on my phone, I'm going to forget it. Therefore, what? I'll use a Word document in my Gmail to what? To, save this information. Therefore, what? I'm going to just insert a table, come back here. You can make it 3 columns and 3 rows. You can put there what? Username, maybe mine, password, and what? And links. Therefore, what? Now, it's like here. See that? So now what? I can put here what? Let's put demo Africa 21025. Okay, that's my username. Therefore, what? I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and in this document, I'll save it here. Okay, forget about that. Then what? I'm just going to proceed. See that? Now, with regards to passwords, I don't have to worry myself. I'm just going to click here, and then what? I'll use strong password. Okay, see that there? Click there again. Now what? I'm going to copy the passwords, and of course, we are going to save it here. It's some kind of a lengthy process, so just want to pay attention. Okay. The link to this, if I want, I can put it in my document, or just leave it there like that. Okay. So I can call this what? My details. Okay. So this document forever is going to be in your email account. 2 years from now, you come back here, you're going to see it. Okay. So done with this, I'm going to what? Click on continue. Okay. Now there is something called a recovery question. So this is just in case, let's say you lost your password, right? And you want to recover your account. Okay. You're going to be asked these questions, all right, in order for you to recover your account. So therefore what? The information you put in here is so important. So I can put here what was my favorite tour, and of course what for me as a tech person, I don't always put the answers. All right, I just use like random. I can put cards, but I just put one. Okay, name of memorable person. I'll type what? I'll type 2. Now you can put anything there. Memorable person hint. I'll put 3. See the way I'm putting my 3. Then of course what? Memorable date. I'll put 2010, 10, 10. Okay. Of course what? I'll put 4 here. Now once I have this, I want to what? I want to screenshot this information, okay? So therefore what? You want to do this, okay? We are going to screenshot this. So there's a tool on your computer called Snippy Tool. And of course, you can what? You can also do this with your phone. Like you can be lying on your bed and what? You can do all of this with your phone. The only disadvantage that maybe you may not be able to save these answers, right? But if you have a way of keeping screenshot on your phone, it's very easy, right? Therefore, what? Snippy 2. Okay. Okay, great. Therefore, what? I'm going to snip this. 1 second. Okay, snip. See that? Therefore, what? You can snip this, right? See that? Snip this. It's already snipped. Therefore, what? I'm going to copy it. Okay, we can copy this. Okay, come back in my document. I'm going to what? See, the reason you want to save this is to secure your account. You want to be able to have access to your account, 10 years, right? Then now what? You want to continue. Okay. See, therefore what? Now it's asking for your email address. Okay. Come back to my email here. Come back and then what? I'm going to just copy this and then paste it. So you can what? You can choose to use, your existing account or what? Or you can, just create a new one. But if you ask my opinion, I'll say, you know what, create a new one. It's free now. Okay, there you go. See that? The name is there. Now what? It's going to continue. Now it has what? So now they've sent a code. Make this font size here. Okay. So a code has been sent to my email. See that? I'll come back here. See that? This is what the Government of Canada email. And what this is the code here. So I'm going to copy this. And of course, we can paste it here. Continue. See that? Perfect. So now what? Now I'm done with almost the first part. Continue. Okay. So now you have to set up what they call, two-factor authentication, and these are all the options here. Now, it's possible that I can lose my phone. I don't want to use, this desktop because I want to log in from any other machine. I want to go with email because as long as I have the email on my phone, I can access the account anywhere and anytime. So that what? Your email, of course, you're going to just accept this. Okay, input your email again, come back here. I'm going to what? Copy this email account. And of course, what? I'm going to come back and then I'm just going to put it here. Okay. Now, a one-time passcode again has been sent. Come back here, check my inbox. And you're going to see that? GC key sign in. Copy this, and then come back here and what? Put it there. Don't you see that? Now I don't have to save all of this. Therefore, what? I'm just going to just click here and continue. Okay, now that's set up. Continue again. Now, when you save this, don't worry, just click again just go English. Okay, and then again sign into my account. And sign to into existing account and this. Okay, and then come back here. See that? So it just takes you back, but just again follow the exact same steps and you're going to go to. So therefore you have this, and now you can accept terms. Now, so this is where you put in your name, okay? And so let me call it probably line LionTech demo, okay? But of course my name is not LionTech demo. Whatever your name is, put in your name here, okay? Like that. Email again. I have my email account, my email address here. Which is now, if you're a francophone, you can select either English or French. So go with English and then just go continue. See this here? Now, this is so interesting because you are going to, each time you log into your account, right? You're going to be asked these questions, okay? And you have to set the question and your answer. So I would say, do you love Canada? My answer is 1. Today is Easter. Then I'll just put 2. See that? So you can of course you can create, you're just creating your own security question. This is the last step actually. Okay. And then who is your mommy? Okay, I put 3. Okay. Do you love Jesus? Okay. 4. Now, if a scammer was to try to log into my account, right? And then they ask them this question, okay, do you love Jesus? What do you think, their guess is going to be? It's going to be yes, right? So the first attempt is going to be yes, and the second attempt is going to be no. But that is neither the answer. My answer is 4. So in this case, I have that. Therefore, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this page because in most cases you won't see it again. Okay, like that. Again, what? Now I take my second screenshot, and this is so important because each time you want to log into the account, you what? You are going to be asked, okay, these questions. Therefore, what? I take my second screenshot. Like that. Okay. So now copy this again. And of course, what? Come back here. And now we're going to again what? Again, paste this in this our document. See that? There you go. So now it's pasted, right? And then you go on what? Now you come back here. Let me increase font size again. Okay. See that? Now I'm just going to continue. See that? Now what? So now this is my account. See that? This is my account. Okay. So now you can what? You can apply now to come to Canada. You can what? You can, apply for temporary health card. You can apply. So you can do a lot. So let's say what? Okay. Let's now apply to come to Canada. Okay. So what? Look at this. Okay. First what? We don't have a checklist. Therefore what? This is our, okay, let's what? Let's look at how to generate our checklist, okay, from the account. All right. So, okay. So now, once you're in your account, you can what? Click on apply to come to Canada. Now, the goal of this session is what? Is to generate a checklist that can give you an idea on what the program is all about. So let's say what? Okay, you want to what? You want to visit, okay? So let's just go with the first option. So see that now what? You're going to what? Find out if you are eligible. Now, this is what you should be able to do yourself. Any immigration program for any country, you can what? You can run the eligibility checklist yourself. Okay. Okay. Now what do you do? Let's say what? Okay. So, which one should we go for? Study, visit, move here, work. Which one? What do you guys want to see first? Work. Okay, somebody says work. Okay, move here, work, 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 work. Okay, work again. Let's see. Okay, so I think work. I see that. Okay, that's good. So now let's say what? Okay, let's say what? Okay, what? Want to work in Canada, right? Now this what? This is you trying to what? To generate checks. So of course, what? Everybody says work. Okay. Okay. See that? So what? You said work. Now you're being asked, how long are you planning to stay in Canada? Say what? More what? Of course, if I want to work in Canada, I don't want to work for 6 months, right? I want to what? Work for more than 6 months, right? I go in here. Now, select what? The code that matches the one on your passports. Okay, so if you're in Nigeria, it's NGN. If you're in Cameroon, it's CMR. See that? See. If you go in here, so you see that? This is what this is. Oh, it's NGA for Nigeria. Okay. So if you're in Nigeria, okay, this is the option you go in for. And if you're in Cameroon, okay, you go for what? CMR. Okay. Let's choose Cameroon. I'm biased now. Because I'm a Cameroonian, okay? But yeah, you can choose anyone. All right. Okay. What is your current country or what? Or territory of residence? Okay. This is asking you, okay, of course, where you are at the moment. So if you are in Cameroon, you can what? Go for Cameroon. If you're in Nigeria, you can what? So select wherever you are. Okay. If you're in Bahrain, if you're in Dubai, select Dubai. Okay, wherever you are. Okay. Okay. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident and is of age 18 years plus? Now, this answers these two question I often get, hey, I have my husband in Canada, he's a student. Can I still apply for a program? The answer is yes, because what? He or she is neither what? A citizen nor a permanent resident. Okay? It only matters if they are what? A citizen and a PR. As long as they are temporary, it doesn't affect you. Okay? So of course, here what? For your answer, it's just going to be maybe a no, of course. Then what you put in when you were born. Okay, I'm just going to put my face.
Sabo, what if you have somebody who has a PR there? Do we need to say yes?
Yes, of course, yeah. You have to now if you have a family member, a family member who have a PR, you must what? You must say yes. It's very important. And it's also going to now if you say yes, right? Part of their checklist, they're going to what? They're going to ask for proof of relationship because the likelihood of your application being accepted is very high. You get what I'm saying? Because they cannot refuse that person the honor of having, a family member coming to, to be with them in Canada. Yeah, so that becomes very important. That's why it's good
So
for you to work.
does it have an advantage? Does it have an advantage?
Of course, it has an advantage. Yeah, it does. It does. Okay.
All right.
So you've answered what? This part, putting your date of birth as it is on your passport. Then what? Click next. Now, are you a lawful resident of the United States? Of course, well, the answer is no. Do you see how easy it is? You can do this on your phone as well. Okay. Go ahead. Find out now. So if you want to work, I have a job offer, and what my employer have given me an offer of employment number or what or LMIA number or proof that your employer has applied for an LMIA. Now, what does this mean? This means that you have a job offer. It's either one that the government has to approve or one that the government doesn't have to approve. So the one that the government doesn't have to approve, the employer must give you what they call the employment number. Okay, it's very important. And the one that the government is going to approve, you're going to have what they call the LMIA number. So these two, you need it, okay? Now what your answer here must be yes. If you put no, you automatically are going to be ineligible. Okay. This program is going to stop automatically. So therefore what? We're going to put yes. You understand? Is it clear? And then of course what? Go next. Okay. Now, what is the status of your job offer? Is it permanent? Is it less than 1 year? At least 1 year? Okay. Of course what? Can take at least what? 1 year. Quiet. Okay. Do you see the categories here? You can what? You can come in as what? As an athletic coach, aviation, business. See that business what? Business visitors, civil aviation inspectors, clergy, convention organizers. So these are all the options. Foreign representatives, healthcare students, news reporters, film media, blah 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 blah. Okay, all of that. Now, do you fall under this category? I'll say what? I'll say yes, because of course what? Maybe you're coming in as a business visitor, a clergy. So of course what? If you're a pastor, let me see. Okay, if I clicked on my ask before, can I create? Of course, what? As long as you have a new email, you can what? You can create another one again. It's very easy and straightforward. Okay. So of course, you say yes there. Are you a spouse? Okay, of course, what? No, just say no. Yeah. So are you a spouse, common law partner, or dependent child of a person who is applying permanent work permit? Not all family members are eligible, so you can check there. Okay, have you recently graduated from okay, for where the answer here is going to be no because you're coming from outside of Canada. Then you just go next year, okay? Oops. What was it? Oh, okay, this is what? Will you be coming to Canada? Okay, the answer what? The answer here is no, okay? if you come to Canada under an active public policy, always put more there. So of course, what you are going to answer this based on your own situation. Okay, this is just like trying to what also want to simulate different checklists and requirements so that you can by yourself decide if this is good for me, if I meet the requirements here, okay, and all of that. Therefore, what? Let's go next. Now, are you a spouse or what? A common law partner of a person who holds a what? See this here? So if you are a spouse or somebody who is studying in Canada, you can what? You can apply. Okay, you can what? You can come under them. So let's say what? Let's take yes, for example, and see the effect, okay? Yes. And then what? We're going to come back and also change to no and what? And then see a new checklist as well. Okay. Henry, I think you have a very good network. Now you are seeing the question. Okay. You go next. Okay. Okay. Which option applies to you, right? Click in here. So what? I am a spouse of a common partner who was what? You see that is what? Who and what enrolled what in a master's program longer than 60 months or what, or doctorate. I'm a spouse of someone who holds a permit and possibly what one eligible and okay, let's say what. So you have to what you have to now know the details of your spouse's program, okay? For this one. So if you have a spouse in Canada who is studying, you can definitely travel under them. Okay, and this is the scenario we are trying to create. So now we go next. So see that now, what is your marital status? Okay, let's go. So of course, what you can apply if you are widowed, common law, never married, annulled marriage, divorce, legally separated. Now, because we said spouse, of course, what you have to show you are married. Okay, now you want to see everything here. Now, what is your country or territory of destination? You have to select where is it that your job offer is based. If it's in Alberta, you go with Alberta, British. So now you have to look at your job details, okay? Let's say it's Ontario. I'm in Ontario. So again, I'm biased here. And of course, click here, continue. Okay. See that? It says what? See, it says what? It says what? Foreign worker what? International mobility program, visitors what? See this here? Visitors visa plus what? Plus no work permit. You are eligible. You are also able to come and what? To work. So what? See, these are the programs that you are eligible for, depending on how you answered the question. Now, if you answered the one for spouse, now you have what this to continue for, and then of course what you also have the open work permit. We are going to come back and take away the spouse option, okay, and also look at what is going to be the difference, okay. So if you go with open work permit, see that? There you go. It says what now? So what? The next one. The next thing is now to what? To create what? To create your personal checklist. So this is what you need. Okay. So now that you are eligible, are you seeing how you are able to answer these questions by yourself, like without having to? Because what? If an agent wants to chop your money, okay, say, oh, come on, you're eligible, just pay. Don't worry, just pay. But what you can be able to determine if you are eligible or not, and then you can work with the agent, right, to assist you to work with you. Okay. And of course, okay. Now, what type of work permit do you want to apply for? See that? These are what? These are all the different types. Okay. You can work for what? So what? A work permit for what? One intercompany transfer. Okay. Open for what? Through what? Seasonal. So these are all the options. Okay. And of course, we have what? A work permit with what? With market impact assessment exemption. A postgraduate work permit. See that? The one with a spouse, for charitable work. We can also what? So a church here in Canada can also just hire you to come and work for them. It's very easy, okay? One open for charitable or religious work, right? One for medical and dental residents or fellows. Yeah, another one for entrepreneurs and what? Okay, that's what. Let's go with this option and see what it's going to be. Okay, for what? See this here? Entrepreneur or what? Or self-employed persons. Now, this should tell you something that if you are in your country right now and you have a business, one, are you paying taxes? Two, is your business legally registered? Three, do you have all the documents for your business? Because what? This alone is a program you can apply for. Let's go for that and see something. Okay? Entrepreneur. We'll come back and change it later, okay? Come back here. Now, are you a company family member that has status in Canada or has recently happened to come to Canada now? You can say what? Okay, let's say yes because we said start before. Go ahead. Now what? Okay. Have you ever committed a crime, been arrested for, been charged with, or convicted with a criminal offense in any country? Okay, now it depends on your what, on your scenario. If you say yes, you say yes. If you say no, you say no, right? Then go ahead. Have you performed any IRCC examination? The answer is no. Have you visited what? Any country in the last, one of the Indonesian countries for 6 consecutive months in the last year? I would say no. Okay. Okay. Do you want to work in any of the following, this thing, field? I'll say what? No. So again, look at it, look at it very carefully and decide if your job falls under any of these categories. Okay. You see this here, what? You see this here? The domestic what? Domestics worker. Someone who gives in what? In-home care to children, the elderly, and what? And the disabled. So a family, right? An individual in Canada who is a Canadian citizen can issue you a job offer to come and take care of, like if everybody in Canada is a potential, not everybody, every Canadian citizen, right, is a potential employer. Okay, yeah. So that's why there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to this. It's just a matter of getting the right one. Okay. Now, so that's see, do you want to submit your application for phone number? I'll say what? I'll say no. That's not it. Okay. See that? Are you giving access to someone to your application? Now, of course, what? If you are using an agent, you can what? You can, so you can what? You can appoint someone to apply on your behalf. You can grant authorization to release what? For the government to release, to discuss your application with somebody. Okay, but what? I'll just say no. In the last 10 years, have you given biometrics? The answer is no. And what? Let's see here. There are fees with this application. Are you going to be paying them? I'll say what? Yes, I'll be paying my fees. See that? And then of course what? Yeah. Are you able to make digital copy of your documents with the scanner or camera? Yes, of course. I can do that. Will you be paying your application fees online? Okay, I'll say yes. Okay. And of course, see this here? Now you can what? You review your answers. And let's see what is that what. So let's see the checklist. See that? Look at something here. Okay, now we are going to continue. See that? See. So based on our answer, that's what? Look at what is required here now. See that here? Something. So now, based on this, right? Okay, so what? So it's because you're coming as an entrepreneur, right? They ask you, okay, proof of what? Of business establishment in Canada. It's easy now. I can establish a business and just put your name on it. You get it? And get a document and just what? Just add it there, submit it. It's easy. That one goes through. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but of course, what if you have already incorporated a business in Canada, right? You're going to have all the documents. your passport. Now, because what? Because you mentioned that you have a spouse who is in school, you must what? You have to what? Show what? Prove what? Prove what? Of what? You have to show proof that your spouse is enrolled, okay, in school. CV is required, right? It is your resume. Then, of course, what? Digital photo. Also, what? You have to what? Show what? Proof of relationship. And of course, also what? Proof that you meet the requirements of the job being offered, okay? So this is what? See, 1, 2, 3. This is what is going to be required. Now, did you see anything like bank statements or what you guys call in Nigeria POF? Proof one is what? It's not required. You get that? They didn't even ask that. They didn't even ask anything about your job based on what? Based on the checklist. So not every immigration program requires bank statement. That's the first thing I want to prove to you. Okay. Now let's what? Let's modify this and so let's what? Let's take a screenshot of this, okay? Because we are going to compare, okay? Let's take this. Oh, no, let's increase the font size a bit. 25 is too minute, okay? And so let's what? Let's take this screenshot here. See that? Take this. Do you know how much you are saving by being in this program? You are saving yourself a lot of money that you would have otherwise, you know.
Yeah, it's really an eye opener on the serious note. And I pray you give us is really an eye opener. And we really saving us a lot actually. I pray you give us a recording of it and maybe in a subsequent month or 2 or 3 before them know our cyber security program will be over. You also give us a refresh on this course again. I really enjoy it.
Okay. Okay.
Because this has given me the courage that I can do it myself rather than looking for any agent out there.
You understand? So now let's again go on and modify these answers to generate a different checklist. Okay. Now we modify this again. Okay. So where it says that, okay, are you okay, that's what, okay, we keep that in place. Okay. That's okay. Now do you have still okay. Okay. It says what? Let's modify the number. It says what? Are you a spouse, right? Let's just say no. Okay. Let me update the information. Then of course, so married here, I'll say what? I'm not married, right? Let's do single. So everybody what? Yeah, single. Let me go next. See that? Now, are you seeing that based on that now, your checklist now is different. Okay. Visitors visa required. Again, what? You continue your checklist, you're almost there. Now, do you have a job offer in the country where you currently live? You get what I'm saying? Like, are you currently employed? Okay, let's say yes. Do you own a business in the country where you currently live? See this here? Like, seriously, do you own a business? Do you think we should go for yes or no?
No.
Okay,
let's go with no first. Any advantage?
No, let's check it first now. And first of all, like, see, okay, this one. Of course, it has advantages because see, let me tell you something, eh? One of the reasons why they refuse people visas are, oh, we are not sure that you're going to return. Why we know what? I'm not convinced that you're going to return to your country of residence. Now, somebody who have an established business is always going to return back to their country. That's the assumption here, right? So if we go with no, okay. Now, do you depend on some? So this is how financial support now is going to come in, okay? Do you depend on someone financial support? So you can say what? Maybe you can say no, okay? Have you traveled to other countries in the previous 10 years? So see, this is where it's so important. If you're in Nigeria, just what I mean, once in a while, fly to Ghana, okay? Fly to Ghana and come back. Fly to Cameroon and come back. Go to Togo. It must not be this all this expensive one places like at least because what this is how you build travel history, okay? But what let's say no, so that we don't get that, okay? Go ahead. See this here? Okay. So you're coming to work. Now look at something here. So of course what? This one is going to give you a different checklist, of course. So see this here. Now, of course what? Because this becomes different. See that? Now what? So of course what? It's asking for what? Proof of what? Proof of means of what? Of financial support. So it could be bank statement, it could be land documents, it could be business document, it could be shares document, it could be anything that you can prove there. Of course, what? Why you want to travel, and what? Proof of your relationship, your passport is required, and of course, what? Digital photo is required, and what? The offer of employment, okay, and again, what? Proof what? Of what? Of work permit exemption. So this is the case where you are coming to support your spouse, okay, like that. So let's again what? Go ahead now again and what? Modify. Now let's change what? The reason, okay? Let's say you want to what? You want to visit. So again what? We change this to okay. Oh, I think someone spoke about okay, let's go for okay, studies. Again, it's more than 1 year, so all that information is going to be the same. Public information. Now, do you have what? A provincial or territorial what? Decision omit the exemption. I'll say what? Yes, I have what? Province. So now, to study in Canada since I think September of last year, you need to what? You need to, after the school issues you acceptance letter, you also what? You also need what? A provincial or territorial what? Attestation letter. This is to attest that the program you want to study, okay, the province is supporting the program. As in, there is a need for that for people with skills in that program. That's a new requirement, okay? So let's go ahead. Which province is what? Is your attestation coming from? Let's say Ontario, again, unbiased. Okay, and are you a lawful resident? Just keep the answer the same. Have you been accepted? Of course, what? You cannot apply to study when you have not been accepted. Say yes. Go ahead now. And then, of course, what? Are you planning to attend what? A post-secondary learning institution. So, of course, what? Your school must be designated. This means that the school must be authorized to recruit international students. That's what designation is all about in this case. Okay, go ahead. See that? So look at something here. So of course, what your requirements here is also going to change. Okay, are you able to blah 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 blah? Okay, look at something. See that? Now what? It changes again. Okay. So see that offer what of employment? Why am I seeing the same thing? Okay, of course, what now? Now what? You see that we have what? So now they're asking for what? For your letter of acceptance. They're asking for this. And of course, you see the fees here? See that? So the fees for all of this what is 185,000. So this is so in Cameroon CFA it's about so this is about 75,000 francs thereabouts. Yeah. Or let's just say 90,000 francs. But now imagine what so but now most agents are going to what? They're going to ask for 500,000 francs upfront minimum. When what? When they're going to what? when the maximum they will spend is what? Is 90,000 francs. Let's just say 100,000 francs. Okay, so yes, my last message, right? Immigration that is legit is not expensive. Okay, immigration is expensive when you have to go fake documents, fake bank statements, okay, fake education credentials, or fake. In fact, everything is fake. That's when it becomes so expensive. But if you have all your requirements, it shouldn't cost you anything. Since here, how much? 185. I don't know how much this is in naira, but what? Let's just assume that what? Let's assume that 1 naira is $1,000 is what? $1,000. I mean, 1 naira, $1 is 1,000 naira. Therefore, what? This is 185,000 naira. But of course, what? Most agents are going to ask you a lot of money just to do this. But you know what? As long as they are being honest, I don't blame them because, of course, what? We are paying for their services, to be honest with you. If an agent to charge me for their service, I'm very okay with that. I can negotiate their service fee as long as they are honest. You get what I'm saying? That, hey, you know what? Okay, this is how much we are going to pay to submit the application. This is what we need. And of course, what? This is my service fee, as in for my time and my expertise. You get what I'm saying? Because, of course, what? If you could do it, you could do it yourself, right? Okay. So we look at that. Okay, therefore what? See that? Is what 85. And now we can again what? Modify this again. Let's take away that relationship thing so that we can have a more this. So let's see here. You're coming to study, of course, more than that. Let's go ahead. Yep, there you go. Married is single. Okay, therefore what? Can again what? Go back to your application. See this here? So once you have your account, you are able to, like modify. You're able to what? To look at your checklist, and of course, what? These are the forms that, based on your answers, you want to submit. You see how easy it is? Very easy. And what? You can't, do this by yourself. It's no big deal. Okay. So of course, next week, we'll talk about, we're going to look at express entry, which is very, very important. But today, we'll look at just this for now. So make sure that you have your okay, you have your account. So between now and next week, have your account. So that next week we can look at express entry. But for that one, you're going to need to it won't even allow you to submit if you don't have the English exams. Okay, English exams, IELTS, or any other exam that is approved. Okay, and your Western evaluation credentials. This is very important. So yeah, we end here for today. I think it's been a wonderful session. Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, we can take them. Okay.
Sir, can someone apply for PR without having any job offer in Canada?
Of course, it's very possible.
Okay.
It's very possible. Okay.
And it will be given to the person, right? Likely to be given to the person.
No, it depends on the education now. But see, if they accept something, right, it's because it is legal. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, the likelihood, if it's available on their website, is because what? Is because they are allowing it, right? They are accepting it. You get what I'm saying? And as long as you meet the requirement, it should be okay. Yeah. Next week, we'll talk about okay, professional meeting next week. We can't talk about everything now, right? We can't do everything now. It's tiring. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Or how did you find the session? Did it help you anyway? Okay. So this is my number, okay? In the group chat where you are, maybe if you want to ask some, very pertinent individual questions, okay, you can just look at the admins on that group. And I think there are just 2 admins here, or 3, yeah. So you can chat with any of the admins there, okay? Just ask to talk to Prince, and they are going to refer you to me, okay? And yeah, we can discuss your personal situation and look at how to personalize this for you, okay? Yeah, but that's just it, right? So what? You can do this yourself. It's very possible, and it's going to, save you a lot. Yes, Mr. Raphael, go ahead. Yes, Raphael, please go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Does anyone else does anyone else have a question? Let's see the chat. Anybody else? Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Anyone has a question so far? Okay, so of course, next week, okay, we're going to talk more, okay, on express entry and work permits. Of course, yeah, CV is needed. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you so much. Of course, like, see, when I see people, they say, "Oh, I paid this person $15,000." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" No. Okay, ignorant is what is causing a lot of us. That's the honest truth, right? Even if you're going to pay an agent, that agent will respect you when you know what you are doing. Okay, when you can challenge them that, hey, come on, this program is not even up to $1,000. Okay, why are you charging me 15,000? Like, of what? Like, what? Why? You get what I'm saying? Like, they're going to respect you more because you're what? You are informed and you are very knowledgeable. Okay, that's different from what somebody who just, so if someone opened the IRC account before and open another one, then you email and send. Yeah, of course, what? As long as you can, as long as you can remember the credentials, it's very okay. There is no problem there, okay? No big deals. So no issues. That's very fine. Thank you, Prof, for the lectures. You're welcome. Okay, let's see this here. There's someone there. Okay, thank you so much for the blessings and happy Easter to everybody. And yeah, so what? I mean, I like to see you. I like to see your accounts, create your accounts, and what? Generate your checklist. And when you do, just what? Post them in the chat group. Let's, encourage others and see. This is an opportunity for you to what? To also be able, when you see any program advertised anywhere on Facebook or anywhere, what? Ask the tough questions. Can I get the link to this program, or the official link to this program? Okay. I think for this video, right, this is gonna be shared on Facebook. I mean, on WhatsApp. So I'm going to put them in a Telegram channel, and then you just need to just join the channel, and then you can watch it from there, as well as can also watch it, on YouTube. Okay, but yeah, I'll do that for sure. Right. Is there any other questions? And I think in the absence of a question, we are going to end here for tonight. And next week, same time, we're also going to have a session for next week, and we take it from there. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have yourself a happy Easter. If you want to discuss maybe something very personal, okay, you have my number. You can always call. I'm always available, and we can talk more about it and see how to, see how to work something for you. All right. Thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful rest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you abundantly. You did well.
Thank you,
you for the time you
sir,
spent.
and have
Yes.
a wonderful Easter break. Bye.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Please
It was
accept
a great time.
please accept my request on WhatsApp. So I'm trying to.
Really? What is that? I've not seen it too.
Nate, Kabir.
Oh. Is it a request to join a group or what?
Yes, waiting for admin approval. So on WhatsApp.
Oh, I can see 5 requests here. Okay. Let me see. Wow. Let me know if you just got approved.
Okay. Yes. Now, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll
All right.
reach you.
Thank you so much, everyone. And have yourself a wonderful Easter. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.